it was raining sideways. And oddly, that's not what woke me up. Hi, and welcome to Quilt Meets World, where we have adventures in piecing and joy. I'm Russ. Come on into my sewing room. Let's rewind to last Wednesday, after my weekly vlog went live. I received a mystery package. I knew something was coming, but I had no clue what it was. On Monday, I had received a tracking notification from USPS, but it didn't come with a who sent it. It didn't come with, maybe there was an order number or anything. I went hunting through my email to see what I could have bought and couldn't find anything. Eventually, it got itself tagged with the origin city, like where it got checked in and everything. And I was still just as confused as anything. Anyway, it arrived Wednesday evening because my mail comes like at 6 o'clock on a good day. And I was kind of excited. It was some happy mail. I received a really awesome t-shirt from a subscriber and regular attendee to Steven's Sew Days from the beginning, and my Shenanigans days that have recently started up. How did she get my address? Well, I'm kind of blaming someone that I won't call out directly, but you know who you are, guilty party. But it was a really cool t-shirt. I wore it to my Shenanigans Sew Day on Sunday, and a picture of it will be in the scenes from the week a little bit later on in the video. So I want to send a very special thank you to Nancy for the t-shirt. It's an awesome t-shirt. You didn't have to send me anything. I don't expect anybody to send me anything throughout this, but it was a pleasant gift. Thursday was an exciting day. A bunch of stuff happened that I can't exactly talk about yet, but it did give me some homework to do. I'm a little annoyed with the homework, but such is life. Folks on the Sew Days know some of the details because they get to ask and stuff, but I'm not blabbing everything to the full world yet. When I can talk about it, I will. If I can't talk about it, I won't. But hopefully I'll be able to talk about it soon. Friday was a fairly quiet day. We had a bunch of meetings at work, so, that kept me busy, and I was a little exhausted by the end of the day, so I couldn't do anything in here. But, that's what happens when, they pay me and everything. I have to, put them first. It'd be nice to, correct some of the work life every now and then, but, it's still good. It's still good. Saturday morning, a lot of fun stuff happened. I went to, woo, excuse me. I went to Saturday Sampler at my local quilt shop. I didn't have show and tell again, mostly because, my long arm hasn't had a chance to get any activity since before Christmas due to me just focusing 100% on the graduation quilts. I did pick up the last of my Bright Side Choose Your Own Adventure blocks in my Kona block of the month. So that's just, the fun thing. And, they do have some awesome show and tell. There was some gorgeous stuff, and even better when they do their postings of all the show and tells on Sunday. So, yeah, there was some gorgeous stuff this week. When I got back home and finished breakfast and everything, I did go live on my 11Zs, and I worked on the last block for the Bright Side quilt, which here's the block. This was the last block. It came together really nicely, and I was very excited that all 12 of my blocks are done, but I can't put it together yet because my finishing kit has not been kitted up yet. They showed us the final quilt. I will show you how they finished it, also in the scenes from the week. But I haven't. I guess they're still waiting on some fabric to come in and everything. So, um, yeah, it was. I'll be waiting probably a couple more weeks. I haven't decided if I am going to try to do some of the sewing on my lives or if I'm just going to do everything offline. But I am very excited that this quilt is almost done. I don't know when I'm going to get the finishing kit. They are trying to fill them as fast as they can. I know what happens. I told them I'm not in a rush. So hopefully, like I said, we'll get it soon. Saturday evening, I was live on my friend Stephanie Stitch's channel where we worked on month 4 of Dragon Fruit. Dragon Fruit is a block of the month program done through Fat Quarter Shop, and it's all Tula fabrics and it's all foundation paper pieced, but it's foundation paper piecing of traditional blocks using foundation paper. I managed to get enough done to the point where I have one block fully completed. And between Saturday and a little bit of Sunday, I have all of the individual components of the blocks done except for a couple flying geese. So I am very close to having month 4 put together. But now if I can just finish months 1 and 2 because those haven't been done yet. Sunday was an adventure. The plan was to get up, get ready, and start hosting Sewing Shenanigans at 8:30 a.m. Mother Nature had different plans for me. I was rudely awakened at 4:22 in the morning when power went out. I'm a typical white boy, and I cannot sleep without a fan. Partly why you see a fan on all the time over me. I was instantly woken up and I could not fall back asleep. I mean, it was to the point I woke up so quickly I heard everything just go meow as it all powered down. I will tell you, it was raining sideways, really hard. The raindrops were hitting the house so hard, I thought it was hailing. A couple times I was almost wondering if we were going to end up in Oz or something just because of how hard the wind was hitting the house. The radar, when I peeked at it, it was a really skinny storm, which those are the ones that are most dangerous. And it looked like, there was going to be about 15 minutes of danger zone, which that's about what it was. And then it took about another 90 minutes for everything to calm down. So I'm just sitting there in bed saying, okay, can I just fall asleep? Can I fall asleep? I'm trying to fall asleep, but I can't because there's no fan. Finally, about 7, I said, I need to get up. That's about the same time I was going to get up anyway. And I needed to get some food. Crawled out of bed. I took Riley out and realized I was going to have an adventure because I park in a garage. So I was like, okay, I've done this before. I know how to get out of the garage, get everything closed back with the garage door, and then, exit through the front door so I can get out. As I was leaving the neighborhood, I peeked down the road that is, a couple houses away, and that's where our electricity comes in from. And I saw a down power line, so I'm like, that's not good. As I was heading up to breakfast on the main road here, I noticed that somewhere around the church, the lights were back on. So that's kind of normal because everything in the grid, you got certain areas that are serviced from this power substation, some that are powered from this stuff. So I was like, okay, that tells me that it's not a huge widespread citywide problem. It's just power station problem. So I knew that as soon as they were able to get the power line stuff resolved, it was going to be taken care of. But I was like, I don't know how long this will take. When I got to QT and I was waiting for my food, there were some awesome Marietta Power folks there. And I jokingly said, "Oh, is my neighborhood where you're heading to next?" And they asked me my neighborhood, and I told them, and I added, and I get it. There's lots of folks without power. You'll get to it when you get to it because you have an order of who needs to be taken care of when and everything. And I thought nothing more of it because they have their order and stuff. I tried to get home and I couldn't. There was a tree down in the road, basically on the opposite side of the traffic light that's at my neighborhood, and I just couldn't get out. So I just banged a Yui and I passed by probably the same Marietta Power folks that I just saw at QT, and I ended up taking the long route home. Normally, I just do a big square because right hand turns are easier to do than left hand turns. But got home, and as I was passing by that same road, I saw the flashing lights of the utility truck, and I'm like, great, they're here. So I get home, parked on the side of the house because can't get into the garage, and ate up my breakfast, and I started the Sewing Shenanigans Zoom from my phone a few minutes early. Eventually, my friend Steven was the first one on, and he was a little bit confused, asking, "Why is it dark and why are you wearing a hat?" So I had to explain the situation and said, I also couldn't shower because, so that's why I was wearing a hat. But I also said, I was able to start the Zoom from my phone and asked for his help to co-host to help get people in, as I knew that I have no idea how things were working on my phone. And he agreed, so that was awesome. Thank you, Stephen. As we got a couple of people in and we're talking about the whole problem, I was like, wait, I'm on cell service. I could actually, exit my house, walk over to the thing and see what the status might be or anything, as they were doing the repairs. So I get up, took everybody outside, and I got up there in the Marietta Power cherry picker truck, line truck, whatever you want to call it. They were out there, and there was the guy just trying to get whatever adapter was on the line that was down off, and then a new one on so they can reconnect it back to the transformer. So we watched them do all of that fun work. It's always interesting to watch people do stuff that I know that I can't do. And it's also, it's just really cool to see how oddly simple some of the stuff that we rely on is, even though there's a lot of magic that happens. But he was able to get everything connected. He comes over and says that they needed to do a once over to make sure there was no other problems on, I guess, that loop or something, and that power would be back on in about half an hour or so. And came back in here, and we were just chatting, and all of a sudden you hear that hum of, oh, the power's back on. And bands started coming on, and I started getting excited and got everything ready. I said, okay, I need to go take a shower real quick. Showered, came back here to get into full shenanigans mode. So yeah, it was a great sew day. Started out a little rocky, but it ended up with a lot of awesome fun. There might have been a few little enablements going on. I'm not going to discuss that. Thankfully, I haven't spent any money yet, but there's stuff that's now in my shopping cart. And if you want to be in the know for my next Sewing Shenanigans Day, you could always watch my channel for announcements or join my mailing list. It was pointed out to me last week that, some folks might think that being subscribed to my channel automatically subscribes you to my mailing list. So if there's a little, subscribe notification underneath this video, you are subscribed to my channel, but YouTube does not share any information about my subscribers. So I don't know who's subscribed and who's not based on that. So if you want, to get notifications for Sewing Shenanigans, you can join it just by sending me an email, say, hey, look, add me to the mailing list, and I will gladly add you to the mailing list. As a reminder, mailing list folks do get first notice of my Sewing Shenanigans days. It does get announced on YouTube a couple days later, so you don't necessarily need to be subscribed to the mailing list. I'm not telling you need to be, but having the link in your email is always a lot more convenient than having to go hunt through videos to say, okay, where is that link? So it has been a week. I'd like to see if I can recover my missing sleep, but that probably won't happen. What is coming up this week? I am this close to having the borders on the second graduation quilt done. In fact, it's actually, right here as a little bit of a sneak peek. I have, I think, 3 borders left. It's been a slow process because I have to cut everything exactly the right size because it's got cornerstones in the borders. So hopefully they are done by the time this video goes live. It just really depends on what else is going on after I edit this video. It would have been done Sunday, but weather didn't have shenanigans of its own. It happens. That leaves the only remaining step for the graduation quilts is piecing the backing, which is a couple seams each, but it's wrestling all that weight and everything. So hopefully I can get those done this weekend. Once I get them together, I need to send them off to be long armed. So hopefully that can go hopefully for my 11sies live on Saturday, I think I'm just going to do another catch-up video on dragon fruit. Months 1 and 2 are what I'm really behind on, and if I can catch up on those, it will make the remaining future months feel a little bit less daunting, because if I was able to get one of these done and everything else except for a couple flying geese from month 4, in basically a day and a half. It'll make things feel a little bit better for the next few months that are blocks that are similar to that. Finally, Sunday afternoon, I will be sewing up my Kona 2025 block of the month with friends live on my channel. We had a lot of fun last month, and I expect us to have a blast this month. There are a few more triangles that we will be working on this month, but I've already seen the block. It looks gorgeous, and it's going to be just a lot of fun to sew up, even if there are, 72 more triangles. So it would be fun if you are able to join me this weekend for my lives. Anywho, I think that's going to be about it for today. I hope you were entertained just a bit with my weekly shenanigans, contrary to what the weather wanted. If you wouldn't mind doing the things that make the YouTube algorithm happy, that would be awesome. They are things such as liking and sharing the video, commenting below, or even watching the rain from your front porch. I just recommend a gentle rain, not when it's going sideways. Subscribing to my channel is free and a wonderful way of letting YouTube know that you like my shenanigans. Ringing the bell icon next to the subscribe button gets you notified when I go live on Saturday mornings and upload other videos at random times. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week and an awesome day. I know that's backwards from normal. Until next time, stay happy and remember, always measure your life in love.